In a family that specialized in brute force over the years, perhaps no one better personified this than Rodney Anawai, nephew to the Wild Samoans, better known to the WWE Universe as the mighty YOKOZUNA. The family's first world heavyweight champion, YOKOZUNA arrived to WWE in the fall of 1992, an imposing behemoth to say the least. YOKOZUNA would make an immediate statement, winning the 1993 Royal Rumble just a few months after his debut. This victory would grant him a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 9, where he took on Bret the Hitman Hart. This meteoric rise to the top was only a hint of the dominance YOKOZUNA would have on WWE for the next year. 2 WWE championships, a WWE Tag Team Championship, victory over the era's titans like Bret Hart, Undertaker, Lex Luger, and Hulk Hogan.
YOKOZUNA is my middle name. I'm named after my uncle. I carry it with like so much pride and weight on my shoulders just because of like what he's done for this business and like who he is as a person too. It's a cool middle name to have, man. I represent it with the pride, man, that I have. Hopefully, man, I'm making him proud by doing it.
The manner in which YOKOZUNA melded incredible size with unspeakable agility shocked the WWE Universe, who to that point were used to their monsters hitting hard but moving slow. YOKOZUNA broke the mold, punishing opponents with super kicks, uranagis, leg drops, and of course, his devastating Banzai drop. A maneuver so effective that once it had connected, nobody kicked out of it. Nobody.
Rodney was a very unique talent. I think the way he was able to handle all the pressure, it was kind of parallel to how he was in the ring. For someone to be so big and to be so nimble, you just don't see that very often. Rodney was one of those first solo guys, singles competitor guys that was able to go out there and really just make waves, make a big splash. I mean, pun intended, I guess. You know, that fool jumped in the pool, he'd knock out all the water, and that's the way it felt sometimes. He would go into those arenas and just suck in all the energy and be able to give it back. So when I look at Rodney, I see someone very similar to me, someone who understands the top, the very, very top of the game, the top position, and everything that goes along with it.
In a career filled with so many highlight reel moments, perhaps nothing stands out more than when YOKOZUNA faced and defeated the so-called immortal Hulk Hogan at the first King of the Ring event in 1993. Looking to humiliate Hogan after the Hulkster stole YOKOZUNA's WWE Championship only 2 minutes after YOKOZUNA defeated Bret Hart for the title months earlier at WrestleMania 9, YOKOZUNA entered the ring totally focused on the task at hand. And on that night, he not only got revenge, but his victory would send Hogan packing from WWE for nearly 9 years.
Hulk Hogan is finished.
Many felt that YOKOZUNA had indeed killed Hulkamania. Now, you get to possess the power of the mighty YOKOZUNA and deal out punishment to Hulk Hogan to walk out of the King of the Ring, a 2-time WWE champion. Showcase the ability and the agility that made YOKOZUNA a Hall of Fame performer and take Hulkamania down. Banzai. Hey, let's put this in the simplest of all terms. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the biggest celebrity on the face of the planet today. Now, whether he's a blue chipper, the people's champion, or as we know him right now, the final boss, The Rock, has always commanded all of the attention in the arena, since the very first moment he made his WWE debut at the 1996 Survivor Series. Born into this business, The Rock would become WWE's first ever third-generation superstar, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. Who had competed in WWE rings before him.
Dwayne had the huge responsibility. There's a legacy, and you have to take it so seriously.
Even with incredibly high expectations, the Great One surpassed them all, along with the usual achievements if your name is The Rock: 2 Intercontinental Championships, 5 Tag Team Championships, 8 WWE Heavyweight Championships, a Royal Rumble victory, not even to forget the fact that The Rock once led an entire nation. The Rock has one of the more noteworthy feats in WWE history, earning WrestleMania victories over Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena. Each of these men are known as the faces of their respective era. Each of these men found out what happens when you go one-on-one. Oh, you know the rest. Of course, The Rock rivaled Stone Cold Steve Austin's popularity during the vaunted Attitude Era, tearing opponents down with rock bottoms and people's elbows while tearing them apart on the mic with cutting one-liners and catchphrases that are still recited to this day.
If you smell, know your role and shut your mouth.
He ended CM Punk's 434-day title reign as WWE Champion at the 2013 Royal Rumble as well, after having only competed twice over the previous 9 years, displaying the always-ready mentality and physical conditioning on which he has built his global brand. But you don't need me to rattle off The Rock's resume to you, now do you? Of course not. The man is an occasion unto himself. He has headlined the biggest events against WWE's most iconic superstars and has always found a way to, how does he put it? Layeth the smackdown on some jabroni's candy ass. I couldn't have said it better myself, although I think I may have just done that. But indeed, he has. On a Thursday night in February of 1997, The Rock, still known as Rocky Maivia, would find himself challenging for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Only a few months into his tenure, he would be matched up against a face that would ultimately become one of his most familiar and hated rivals, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Seemingly overmatched by a more seasoned opponent, a youthful Rock would demonstrate all the traits that have come to define him in the years since. Tenacity, high IQ, and that legendary Samoan strength to ultimately surprise Helmsley and kick off the first championship reign for Rocky Maivia. It would be the first step of a journey that has ultimately led The Rock into the pantheon of WWE's elite. So now it's all in your hands. It's up to you to showcase the undying drive that makes The Rock the hardest worker in the room to deliver a shocking upset against the Greenwich snob himself. Guide The Rock to victory over Triple H at a very special Thursday, Raw Thursday, to give the first jolts to what would become the most electrifying career in sports entertainment. Elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out. even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory. She's not like most girls. She's also not like most WWE superstars. Nia Jax, the reigning queen of the ring, is a reckoning, a force of nature that blitzes right through her competition. A cousin of The Rock, Nia Jax arrived in NXT almost 10 years ago with astronomical expectations. Undaunted, Nia Jax would dominate early opponents, finding herself competing for the NXT Women's Championship mere months after her debut. It did not take long for those running Raw and SmackDown to take notice.
Well, our next pick, Nia Jax.
And Nia Jax would join the Raw roster as part of the 2016 draft lottery. And since joining the main roster, absolutely no one has been safe from Nia Jax. She is a two-time women's champion. She is a two-time women's tag team champion. She competed in the men's Royal Rumble match in 2019, even getting an elimination while in the ring.
Nia Jax looking to eliminate. She does.
She's battled standouts like Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. And all the while, she has left undeniable destruction in her wake. In the ring, she applies many of the same tactics that once benefited Yokozuna, even using her own version of the bonsai drop, known as the Annihilator. And just like its namesake, if it connects, your night will agree with your wise man. Many WWE superstars say they will do whatever it takes in order to achieve success. Quite often, it's a bunch of BS. But if you're lucky, you may run into someone who is willing to look out for the group. Someone willing to make sacrifices. And for this family, there was no one better than Rikishi. After the Head Shrinkers run in WWE came to an end, Rikishi, then known as Fatu, would go on a journey of self-discovery. This journey would lead to him taking on the name Rikishi, a subtle nod to his cousin Yokozuna, as well as an opportunity to start fresh with a global audience.
Well, my dad, you know, when he became the Rikishi character, when you think about Samoan wrestlers, right, or mean, or aggressive, he made it like his own flavor, right? You know, he had the blonde hair, still carried the aggressiveness, but I think he just wanted to add like a little flavor to it. But it became even more popular to our culture.
Rikishi blitzed WWE from the jump, devastating opponents with new tricks and winning people over with his fat-ass dance moves.
That Rikishi is fat, all right. P-H-A-T.
And with this wave of newfound momentum came even more success, with Rikishi capturing the WWE Intercontinental Championship and displaying incredible athleticism in iconic moments like when he dove off the top of the steel cage. The year 2000 belonged to Rikishi. But little did anyone know, Rikishi held a dark secret regarding a decision he'd made not for his own benefit, but for the benefit of the family. It was at the 1999 Survivor Series that Stone Cold Steve Austin was hit by a car in the arena parking lot, forcing him from the main event later that night for the WWE Championship. For nearly a year, all of WWE was consumed with figuring out who was driving that damn car and why Austin was targeted in the first place. The verdict came in. The car was driven by Rikishi. Rikishi would stand strong.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I didn't do it for me. I did it for The Rock. What?
Rikishi would lay out a years-long gripe that WWE preferred Steve Austin to The Rock, and so Rikishi had made sure that The Rock's only competition had been removed from the picture. Rikishi sacrificed his own popularity to reach this goal. The Rock thrived while Austin was on the shelf. For Rikishi, the struggle and fall was all worth it. Rikishi knew that he would eventually have to face off with the Texas Rattlesnake to answer for his sins. And he welcomed that meeting with open arms. What Rikishi was unprepared for was for WWE to stack the deck entirely, looking to make Rikishi pay for taking out their golden goose. Stone Cold Steve Austin was allowed to drive his truck directly to the ring and was generally given the freedom to do whatever the hell he wanted in the name of revenge. We are going to make things right. This time, when Rikishi and Stone Cold Steve Austin lock horns, there will be no stacking of the deck. Someone willing to give of himself so that his family, this family, can succeed, deserves better. So get in there and showcase the never say die spirit that has led this family to victory time and time and time and time and time and time again. Use whatever weapon you can get your hands on and prove to Stone Cold Steve Austin that you will do anything for the people. His arrival signaled impending doom. His very presence was enough to intimidate even the bravest WWE competitor. His name itself simply meant the end. And if you found yourself standing across the ring from UMAGA, you were most certainly coming to the end of your own road. The younger brother of Rikishi, UMAGA, was every bit the Samoan bulldozer that his nickname would suggest, mauling opponents with ease, relishing the chaos that he created. A menace to the entire roster, an unrepentant badass, UMAGA tortured his prey with high-impact collisions before ultimately sealing their fate with his vaunted Samoan spike, a vicious move used today by Solo Sikoa.
Inside the ring, man, he was just a complete monster. Anybody that stood in front of him, he was gonna wreck him no matter what he had to do. He was just a crazy, wild Samoan. Outside of the ring, man, just a loving guy to be around. A fun uncle, always joking, always barbecuing at his house. I always looked up to him. He was just so cool.
Perhaps an unheralded aspect of UMAGA's game was his mastery of mental warfare. UMAGA loved to present a wild, out-of-control savage, one who needed manager Armando Alejandro Estrada to handle all the details while he destroyed opponents. UMAGA was the perfect definition of the word aura. A two-time intercontinental heavyweight champion, UMAGA established himself as one of the purest forms of dominance to ever set foot in a WWE ring. His intense clashes with Batista, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and Triple H, along with WWE Championship battles against John Cena, still live on in the memories of those who were fortunate enough to watch UMAGA perform. And UMAGA will live in immortality through every member of this family, whether it's with a huge Samoan drop, a running bulldozer into the corner, a Samoan spike, or even a war cry in the middle of battle. UMAGA is forever.
I wish he was here. I know he's watching from above.
So you, our beloved Uce in training, are asked one simple thing here in the WWE 2K25 showcase: to defeat John Cena. You've done that in this mode before, right? Simple. It was at New Year's Revolution in 2007 that UMAGA and John Cena first collided for the WWE title. UMAGA appeared to be too much for Cena in the minds of many pundits. undefeated in WWE some 9 months after his debut, and things were going very well for Umaga until they weren't. Umaga would see his undefeated streak end by, of all things, a damn roll-up after rushing directly into the outstretched shoes of John Cena. 1 second of luck allowed John Cena to escape the inevitable, and now it's on you to fix it. Head into that ring, showcase Umaga's cruel brutality, and get Umaga the WWE Heavyweight Championship victory that he should have gotten in the first place. I assure you, my dear friend, Armando Alejandro Estrada will make sure nothing else goes wrong if you take care of business inside the ring. Hey, in WWE, things move really fast. If you aren't present in the moment, it can feel like a year goes by in only 2 or 3 minutes. That's why you always have to make time to make sure that you check. Hold on. Did I just hear myself say 3 minutes? Stop. Can you believe I'm actually doing Eric Bischoff's shtick? In the early 2000s, few words sent a shudder through the roster like the words 3 minutes, summoning the fearsome duo of Rosie and Jamal, collectively known as the 3-minute warning. Initially hired by the aforementioned Raw general manager Eric Bischoff to interrupt anything he didn't find to be entertaining.
You're just not entertaining me. 3 minutes are just about up.
The two instantly made their mark in WWE with their complete and total decimation of anyone that was targeted. Their formula was really simple. 2 bruisers with surprising quickness who took pleasure in throwing opponents all around the ring with reckless abandon. And the trail of bodies left in their wake remains a testament to their devastation. Rosie, older brother of your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and Jamal, who would in time develop his skills further and take the name of Umaga, were about instant gratification. They treated matches like a race, seeing how much damage they could fit into the shortest time possible.
The 3-minute warning with my brother and my cousin, it was just one of the coolest gimmicks of all time to me. It was catchy, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of knew what was happening. And I feel like we all remember when the 3-minute warning hit for the first time. You know, the whole Den TV area just lit up.
Every match was a train wreck, as the two would use their size to overwhelm most opponents, coupling that with incredible tag team maneuvers to increase the carnage to its maximum levels. That approach, maximizing damage while minimizing time, was a 3-minute warning signature. The team itself saw its run in WWE last for a little over a year, but in that time managed to make such an impression with the WWE Universe that it still resonates today. They are proof of the impact anyone can make if they capitalize on their opportunities, as 3-minute warning did every single time.
It was a short-lived gimmick, but it was a really cool gimmick, and I just think it shows the versatility of, hey, if you need us to go out there and tell you a Broadway story, I'll cover 2 hours if you like. But if you need us to come out in 3 minutes to make an impact, we can do that too. But you gotta be really good to be thrown in there with the very, very best in the industry. I'm getting all pumped and proud, you know, for my brother and my cousin right now, just thinking about it.
Here in the WWE 2K25 showcase, we have selected another team that embodies the same mindset in Akam and Razor the AOP. Similar to Jamal and Rosie, these two look to inflict the most pain in the most efficient manner. Like 3-minute warning, AOP happily dispatches when summoned. Like 3-minute warning, AOP features two Goliaths who will hurl your body from pillar to post before finally bringing it all to a most painful conclusion. It's up to you in this Extreme Rules contest to beat the AOP to the punch and showcase the Wrecking Crew approach that made 3-minute warning the premier bruiser squad in all of WWE. And don't worry, we will give you more than 3 minutes to make that fact perfectly clear. As a matter of fact, take your time and enjoy dishing out the punishment. We've come to the part of the showcase where we get to talk about Tamina. Ever since walking in WWE, shoulder to shoulder with the Usos, Tamina's alliance with this dynasty has never been in question.
I remember watching Monday Night Raw, and I seen Tamina debut with my brothers. It was a pretty cool, dynamic, right? Two of my brothers and Tamina.
Together, Tamina and the Usos helped each other navigate through a trial-filled first year in WWE, making sure they all survived together. In later years, Tamina has formed alliances with both Naomi and Nia Jax, honoring this family's connection. While Tamina has looked to create her own name in the industry, she has never missed a chance to acknowledge her place in this family either. Trained by Afa and Sika, the wild Samoans, Tamina was instilled with the same instincts that have carried each member of this family to wrestling glory. Her in-ring approach is similar to many in the bloodline. Quick striking, high-impact attacks, and smothering holds. As capable with a super kick or a big splash as anyone else, Tamina has maintained a remarkable level of success in her WWE career. A constant contender, Tamina has competed for the Women's Championship on many occasions. She's also held the Women's Tag Team Championships along with 9 separate reigns as the 24/7 champion. Tamina has proven capable in any environment against any opponent. Tamina is always the perfect test for a rising contender. Defeating Tamina proves that you're at the top of your game, and she will always expose those who aren't quite ready yet. Taking her lightly is the easiest way to book your visit to the local medical facility. Tamina has taken part in many memorable moments, but in the 2K25 showcase, we're going to give you the chance to make history. In the first ever women's Money in the Bank match, Carmella, of all people, would walk out victorious after letting someone else do all the work. Tamina, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Charlotte Flair were all robbed of a great opportunity that night by Carmella. So this is your chance to make it right. Showcase Tamina's grit and take out the other 4 ladies in this ladder match to become the first ever winner of the Women's Money in the Bank. Carmella might still sneak out with the win, but if she does, she's doing it on her own because we're not allowing anyone else at ringside for this match in our showcase.